Welcome to this Windows Computer and Technology channel, and this is a interesting graph that you should look at because it is an indication of how bad the situation is going this year with the in regards to ransomware payments, which also will mean that more and more people will be bitten by ransomware probably this year than ever. Year over year in the last 10 years, ransomware has been gradually being worse every year. And this year it's continuing the trend and shows how people are not taking security seriously and not taking the time to really evaluate what they do with their devices. So this is a company called Chainalysis, and they have monitored illegal payment systems to see how much money goes and flows through there in the ransomware department, because all of that is often done in very, very unique and cryptocurrency based crimes, and it's always done in a way that it's difficult to trace back payments. So the orange line is the money flowing through the year of 2022. That's last year. And you could see it reached the 500 million level at that point. That's a lot of money when you look at it. And that's just what's being traced, because we are pretty much certain that around the world, ransomware payments have been past $1 billion. So that's why, they're being intense, because a lot of money is in there. And that means if you look at the blue line showing you that right now we're almost at 500 million. And we're barely July. There's still a lot of time left for the rest of the year. So we're going to beat the record, because last year was a record over the previous year, and so on. So we're going towards another record. That means that ransomware is on the rise. That means you got to take the basic steps. People think, often, it's because people leave their computers on and you get infected. It doesn't work like that. You have to do something to get infected. It's always funny how over my tech guy duties, all the years, it's Windows, it got infected. No, it doesn't work. And actually 90% of the problems that people thought were viruses were not even viruses. But every time I saw a machine that was infected, the person did something. It doesn't happen on its own. So remember the basic rules. You don't want to have ransomware. The first basic rule is just make sure your PC, Windows, Mac, Linux, the operating system is up to date to the latest updates with security. The software you use, the browser, latest update in security. It's very important, because that blocks already 95% of all the malware that could actually get into your machine. Then the second thing, most important, is don't click on everything you see. Don't go download malicious, illegal stuff. That's the number one reason people got infected when I was doing my tech duties. Oh, illegal movies, songs, and so on these shady websites. Of course, porn sites, very popular in getting ransomware and all sorts of crap. You don't need that special player to view something. There is no you need to update media player or flash player or all of that crap that pops up in a browser screen. There is no update to have that comes from a browser screen ever, ever, ever. All of that is done through the software itself. So never click any windows that tells you there's an update to something within a browser. It's not the case. They're trying to have you download ransomware or malware of some sort. Email attachments, number one way people get infections and get ransomware problems. Why? Because people see an attachment with an email from somebody they know. And because it's somebody they know, they let their guards down. Your family and your friends are your worst enemies in security on a PC. It's always been like that. It's still like that. Do not think somebody knows more than you. Often it's not the case. And if there's an attachment to an email, avoid the attachment unless it's absolutely sure, unless you really, really know that it's a attachment that is from your friend and that is correct, that it's supposed to be there because of some reason. And, I always say the rule is that in the body of the message, you should always say, oh, in attachment, I have put a, PDF file for this, reason. Don't, most emails are kind of weird or don't show much or are from sources that you don't know. Never click attachments, never open attachments of unknown sources. No, UPS is not waiting for you to do something about a package you're going to receive. You'll get that notice in the mailbox or in the mail if you're not at home. No, there is no such thing as, so many other crappy ways that apparently companies are trying to reach you, but you got to click that attachment. Doesn't work. Email attachments are the worst thing ever for ransomware. You avoid clicking that. Most of the time, pretty much every time, when people say, well, I don't trust myself with security. Well, you should, because almost every time that I've had somebody get malware, they immediately told me, well, I thought it was strange, but I clicked anyway. Well, follow your guts. You know it's strange. You know it shouldn't be there. Yes, you are good at keeping safe. Your antivirus is not doing that job. Stop thinking that. That's the worst way of thinking, because you're going to click on that attachment because you say, oh, I got an antivirus. I can click the attachment. No, you can't. You're going to be bitten. And there's a good chance that antivirus is not even going to do anything. So be careful, because this means that this year, the amount of ransomware out there is really on the rise. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.